to take a picture of this. That's the schedule of the debates.
That's Pete's schedule. That's what he's agreed to.
Well, this is what they both should agree to.
Now, why should they both agree to that schedule?
They should have started long
If they can't make it to this one, then they've got to be able to talk about when they can make it.
Hey, they're in recess right now. How come we can't make it to this one?
So they're not in session right now. So he could possibly make this one.
Yeah. He should be home when he's not up in the vote.
And you know that now. Here is the debate schedule. Show up to this one.
Okay, so what we have here, we have arts people saying that Peter actually could physically show up here, but Peter bailed out, and is we probably got 500 people in there that want to see this debate, and Peter is not showing up. No.
He's been trying to get Defazio to debate him one-on-one, but Defazio is ignoring him.
Okay.
Anyway, enjoy yourself.
All right, thanks.
Hey, there's Barbie. I see that already.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. This is the debate schedule starting in September.
Who's setting this up?
I beg your pardon?
Who's setting up the debates? How does it work?
Well, the Eugene City Club is the
First one is Eugene City Club,
Okay.
This is the debate schedule.
September 20th. Corvallis Gazette Times,
Well, this is the
October 18th. Roseburg Chamber of Commerce.
although he hasn't agreed to the debate.
To be determined, Coos County Chamber of Commerce and League of Women Voters.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it.
And that's it?
I beg your pardon?
Only those three?
He will be in Eugene he'll be debating at the City Club.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's a big number, 4.
Possibly 4.
Possibly
To be
4.
decided.
To be determined.
Why is that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, do you work for
You
him?
think?
I do.
Yeah.
Why didn't he?
Very
didn't
interesting.
he
It
show up?
is interesting,
The
isn't
statement
it?
that he never
Why
agreed
isn't
to it.
Defazio here tonight?
Yeah,
He's working in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
He's an elected congressman.
He is brought into session on his vacation, is that right?
I don't
It's been on the news. Yeah, in fact, the whole house has been on the back.
Yeah.
You follow the news, guy?
I do, you better believe it. I make the news.
Oh, you look like a newsmaker.
God will forgive you for that. No, these are the news. Is he here? Is your Defazio in there?
Peter Defazio?
Yeah.
No, he said he couldn't make it. Somebody's taking your picture there, and that is the schedule of the debates when he said he could make it. But I think
So he won't do an open debate?
oh yes, he will. And there's a
Oh, good.
schedule
Then he's
of
probably
them.
in there then, right?
No, the
Oh,
other
he's
guy's
not.
talking to a chicken.
Oh. Well, that's the same thing, I think. We got to print out.
So Defazio didn't show up to the debate.
Well, the
We gotta-
paper didn't tell you the truth.
There's a no-show.
Defazio's coming, huh?
Can't have a flag inside.
September. In any case, doesn't look like he's going to be here today.
Surprise.
And I would be here even if I were him, though I would have trouble with it because I wouldn't want to debate his side of the issues. Now, in his absence, what I decided to do, we had various sort of humorous ideas. We decided this is too serious for that. He's not here, and I usually give a sort of a campaign speech, but I'm going to do it differently. I'll, of course, be advocating my cause. The debate question, of course, was to be which of us should be elected. But part of the time, I'll do something I haven't been doing. I'll be displaying my opponent's voting record and his public statements on this screen. The best I can do to represent him is to show what he has said and done, since he is not courageous enough to stand there and tell us what he has done. I'll put a slide. For 20 years, for his entire term of office, this man has been foursquare opposed to nuclear energy in the United States. He helped shut it down and helped keep it shut down. He also now has proposed a tremendous tax on coal, oil, and natural gas. But he proposes that we shut down our coal, oil, and natural gas and shut down our nuclear power and replace it with green energy paid for by tax money. These are his votes on stimulus measures. He voted yes, 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 but there's a no. He also voted yes this week because he, with great fanfare, went back to Washington and voted for another $26 billion stimulus bill. He voted no once. He actually voted yes on that bill and no on it later. And we know why that is. Go to the next slide. He voted no because he's the subcommittee chairman for the Transportation Committee.
Here in the United States military, and I'm wondering, what are your guiding principles on how our military should be invested and how it should be implemented into our foreign policy?
This is a real problem. In the guys who are setting up the country, they of course talked about a militia. You could get together an army, men that were trained with rifles and so forth. It's not that way in the technological age. You have to have a standing military because you can't build all this technology and make a good defense of your country unless you have the military hardware and men trained. And we have the best trained people in the world. The problem comes when the politicians feel that it's a sort of a perk of office to play games with it. And that seems to be a disease that a lot of our politicians get. One of the manifestations of that disease is that right today we have troops quartered in over 100 sovereign countries around the world. Why are they there? Are we at war with 100 countries? No, they're there so that the politicians can meddle in the affairs of other countries, and all those men should be brought home. We shouldn't have those people quartered that way. Now, it's a more complicated issue, and we delegate the authority of the use of the military to the president. And he has information we don't have, he has all the classified information and so forth. But we have to judge these things. One thing that's been ignored is the Constitution says you have to declare war in a certain way, and they just ignored that. Ron Paul talks about it a lot. Whether you like these wars we have now or not, they weren't constitutionally declared. That's wrong. And then they can read the newspapers, and that's all we've got. The information we get from all kinds of sources, it's hard to see why American troops are fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's not hard to see why President Bush might have sent him there. His foreign policy, and I'm not speaking for him, but you could look at it kind of simply. They knocked down 2 buildings and he took 2 countries. They haven't knocked down another building. That would be one way of expressing it. But that could have been done in a year or so. It didn't have to embroil our men there for a decade. And it's not clear how the interests of the United States are served by spending all this money we don't have and all this treasure we don't have and burning up military equipment that our president now doesn't want to replace in those conflicts. And I really don't understand it even further because this guy who got as president got the nomination in the Democrat Party by being anti-war. He beat Hillary Clinton because he claimed he'd stop all his wars. Then he came into office and tripled the number of troops in Afghanistan. I don't understand that. They haven't told me anything that would lead me to believe the war should continue. I think they can't beat our soldiers. We're not going to lose. It's not possible to beat the U.S. military in Afghanistan, but it is possible to let them sit there and burn up money, equipment, and men in an area which I can't understand is required for the defense of the United States. That's an opinion. It's his responsibility. It's the president's responsibility. We delegate it to him, but I think it looks to me and a lot of other people like that responsibility is being misused for some other reason. But I don't know for sure because I'm not him. I don't sit in that chair. I don't have his information. But I said that to Ron Paul. He just looked at me and he says, well, maybe the information you don't have is what the commercial interests in the mining in Afghanistan are. These military is often used for principal purposes. But anyway, what they told the American people about those things doesn't justify continuing year after year after year. Everybody hasn't, and we certainly should declare war properly if we're going to fight a war, and they didn't do that. But I don't, that's not a criticism of President Bush in the first year he fought. He kept it there a long time, and now we got a guy who just keeps going. It just doesn't seem to me to be a good thing to do. It's not a common, we've got a problem with conservatives. If you're not for the war, you're against the troops. You understand that's not the same thing at all.